Agent Coulson here at C2E2 2022. Subscribe to Raze Chaos.
And welcome back, everybody. My name is Raze Chaos. You've made it back to my channel, and yeah, you've made it back on another Wednesday. And yeah, Raze has had a great run of comic book covers. But unfortunately, this appears to be the last one. I know there's more coming out, but yeah, Raze, as of right now, these are all the comic covers that Raze has gotten. And as exciting as it is to have them all, he can't wait to get more, and he knows there's more coming. But the only thing it really means for Raze's channel is that there may be some weeks. It's been, at some point, it's even been months where there's no comic book cover videos. Even though Raze basically does as many as they put out, there still tends to be gaps. Because even when it feels like Raze can't keep up with how many they're doing, essentially they can't keep up with Raze. And he's a hard person to keep up with no matter what you're talking about. But we're going to go ahead and put this little jackass away, and we are going to talk about this one because we have got Amazing Spider-Man. What issue is it again? It's number 2 something. It should be on here. Raze is gonna check that out while he puts this guy. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 529 from 2008. I want to say. Took me a second because yeah, they just have the cover on here. They don't have like the date or any of the stuff on there. But this is number 529. And it's a very significant issue. Why? Because it's a Target exclusive. I am kidding, of course. Honestly, the Target exclusives are about as common as you get because they do so many, and you can't really complain. Because especially if you're like Raze and you actually want more of them. Yeah, Raze wants more of them. And so he gets really excited about the Target exclusives. But oddly enough, being a Target exclusive really kind of makes it just that. Like, the only thing significant about Target exclusive is that you can only get it at Target. And that's not even the case because Funko has all their exclusives on Funko.com. It's just kind of like, do you guys understand what exclusive means? However, that does make it difficult to get it any other way other than Target and Funko, the Funko shop. Yeah, if they sell out one place, they might have it the other, but otherwise, you got to be careful. Not many of these have sold out. They have been harder to get, depending on the character. But what makes this issue the most, especially special, is that this is the first appearance of the Iron Spider. This is when Tony Stark gave Spider-Man this specific costume to replicate. It gave him 2 extra arms, 3 extra arms, Dr. Octopus, which seems a little odd, because, obviously Spider-Man has, a spider has 8 legs. And if you count his arms, his legs, and then the 3 added appendages, and looking at it, it really is just 3. That just leaves 7. So, is Spider-Man's head supposed to be the extra appendage? I know what that extra appendage is. And Raze ain't gonna say it here. But yeah, this was the introduction of this. This was, Tony Stark giving Peter Parker the Iron Spider suit, and essentially just playing again on the with great power comes great responsibility, and it's just like, hey, are you ready for this this technology, this boost? Because yes, while while Spider-Man is very powerful, what they always tend to not dwell on too much is that Spider-Man is actually kind of a mini Tony Stark. Like, he is a very technical, very intelligent scientist. Beneath that, it's just that he's so young that he's still learning in most cases. And while they tend to keep him there throughout the years, that's why Spider-Man is still perpetually a teenager, early 20s type person. The idea is if he gets too much older and if he gets older and more experienced, then he is essentially going to be what Superman is, and that'd be perfect. Spider-Man, being Marvel, their flagship character, is flawed and is young and experienced and gets sidetracked on things. And that's the main difference between Marvel and DC. DC puts out these icons that for the longest time they were infallible. They just, it wasn't until later on where they started giving them some kinds of personal drawbacks, and showing how being an icon is not necessarily a good thing. Marvel, like, right out of the gate, wanted to show you, hey, this is not perfect, and this person has problems just like everybody else does. They were the first to jump onto that, and that is one of the areas where DC, well, there are lots of areas where DC tried to play catch-up when they shouldn't have had to. Being the first, they should have been the first. You should have gotten the first of everything in DC. But, yeah, you didn't. It's disappointing, I know. It disappoints Raze every freaking time. They were the first, but they did not... They were too scared to do certain things because they didn't want to get, shut down or whatever. And considering now I'm not going to go into that because Raze is going to go on a full-on tangent that has nothing to do with this issue, which is awesome. I was so happy to see that the Iron Spider was actually represented in the movies, that he had that technology. I'm glad it crossed over and everything. While it does make Spider-Man a lot more effective, I think what they tried to show is that it also takes him, it makes him gives him a little too much too soon, I guess you could say. Spider-Man's all about great power with great responsibility, and he has to match that responsibility with the power that he has. So giving him the Iron Spider basically pushes an imbalance there where he's a lot more powerful than he is responsible. And when that happens, Spider-Man's back to making some stupid mistakes that he should have known better. And I love the idea that it is a learning experience to where, yes, as you get older, you are not, it's expected that you don't make the same mistakes as a younger person. Not to say you can't make mistakes, but it's like, you should have learned by now. You should have been, not be so selfish, be more understanding of ever, taking more responsibility for how you affect. I mean, they have the great power comes great responsibility. But a lot of people just kind of look at that as, oh, well, that means he's got great power, so he should help people. And really the responsibility there is the responsibility to everyone. The responsibility to other people, the people that are around you, the people that interact with you, the people whose lives you affect. And that is the responsibility that Uncle Ben was talking about. That is the responsibility that Stan Lee was talking about. It's everything you do has an effect on other people. So your responsibility is to not affect the world in a bad way. And it doesn't matter who sees you do something. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter if you get thanked. It doesn't matter if you are praised or booed. It's, are you being the person responsible for your own actions? Are you the person that are you affecting people the way you would like to affect other people? Do you want to make people happy? Do you want to make people upset? Are you in it for yourself, or are you in it for everybody else? It's your responsibility to understand the best way to go through that. And this is a great example of Spider-Man's power outweighing his responsibility for a little while, because I do believe he still I don't remember exactly what happens with the Iron Man or the Iron Spider costume. I don't remember if he just like, you know what, I can't take this, and he just kind of like sets it aside, or if it gets destroyed or whatnot. But it's not a unique story, because that was kind of the this is basically a milder version of the whole symbiote story, where Superman got the Venom symbiote on him, and while it increased his power, it went to his head. Although in that story, it was a symbiotic alien that was also influencing him. So yeah, this, as unique as the story is, comics tend to tell the same story over and over again, but it's just a way of how can we retell this story. That's the big issue that a lot of writers have, is that basically every story has already been told, but how can you make a new story out of an old story? You know, that take an idea that's already been used and make it your own, make it unique to you. And that is the real key that a lot of people who have trouble with doing things don't understand. The uniqueness is you. And Raze doesn't even know what he's talking about anymore. He's got on a full-on tangent. So Raze is going to go get out of here. Not sure when the next comic cover video is going to be, but like, but you know where to find it when it does pop up. It's on the playlist. It's on Raze's channel. It's on Wednesday, and yeah, you can check out the playlist. There's all there. There's tons of Spider-Man covers on there. So if you just came for a Spider-Man cover, you can check out the rest of them. And what Raze thought of him. But yeah, Raze needs to get out of here before he goes on another tangent. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and never forget that life is full of odd moments. You never know when you're going to be defined.